Start your day.
It's 10 after 8. Thank you very much for choosing this as a way to start your day. 19th of August 2024. Welcome to the Situation Room. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. This is also the place that will tell you if you'd like to study abroad and you want to know where, the best colleges and universities to attend to in abroad. And also how to apply, how to even get student visas in abroad, how to get accommodation sorted out in the abroad that you go to. There's only one place to go to.
In the overseas. So what you do is that you need to attend in Nairobi the Cradle Study Abroad World Fair, okay? It's coming up, and most top international universities will be in attendance. Apply on the spot and secure partial scholarships, get your student visa and accommodation assistance all in one place. Now, you can get all this information that you possibly be looking for if you attend the fair, right? You want to go overseas for this education, you want to be able to secure scholarships, you want to apply for your visa, you want to find out about accommodation, what should you do, which are the best schools to go for, they will all be there. Attend the fair. The Cradle World Fair is on the 31st of August. Prepare for it. It is from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Gallant Mall in Parklands. It's an invite-only event. What does that mean? It means that you need to register today and then get your invitation. And make sure you register by visiting www.cradle, that's CRAYDEL.com, or call 0799 000 444, and you're well on your way towards that education.
Very, very good. Very, very good. On X, you'll find us on at Spice FM. Okay. What's yours? At Nduoko. With an H at the end. NDU. Okay, OH. Okay. At City Muga. At Eric Latif. Our next guest is here, and he's also found on X at Morara Kebaso Senior. SNR. Senior, right? Morara Kebaso Senior. And he says there that he is a dangerously intelligent lawyer, a bishop of merciless peace, and chief registrar of broken promises.
Where?
Morara Kebaso. Karibu sana to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you so much.
Right? So we'll give you a couple of moments to introduce yourself very well. But before that, City will welcome you with the day's proverb. And every week, City goes to one African country, brings us proverbs, and then gives us a proverb a day. Your job is to listen to the proverb and give us your own interpretation of it. Sasawa?
Okay.
Sasawa?
Sawa.
Yeah. City, where are we this week?
We are in the Republic of Chad. We are still in the landlocked countries of Africa. Chad is actually caught somewhere very interesting at a crossroads between North and Central Africa, which according to Ndu means it's in West Africa. An interesting country. It is the 5th largest country on the continent. Globe, Earth, planet, 20th largest by area. And I said in the first hour, Kenyans will ask, okay, about Chad, they are 5th. What about us? Us, we're 23rd.
23rd, smallest or largest?
23rd country in terms of size in Africa.
Okay.
Yes. If you talk about size, Seychelles is the smallest. It's number 54, just so that you understand. But as we're number 23. Very good.
Okay.
Now the proverb. The more feathers a chicken has, the bigger it looks. And the nearer it approaches the grave.
The more feathers a chicken has, the bigger it looks, and the nearer it approaches the grave.
The more the feathers a chicken has, just come back again. The more a chicken has,
the more feathers a chicken has, the bigger it looks, and the nearer it approaches the grave.
Well, that would mean that the older it gets, the more feathers it has, because if it's approaching the grave, it's getting old, huh? And if it's getting older... Oh, no. I've thought about it again. It means when the owner of the chicken is looking for the fattest to slaughter, he's going to look for the one with the one that looks bigger. And the one that looks bigger is the one that has the most amount of feathers. But in reality, those feathers are not meat. When you actually remove the feathers, you realize that the chicken is actually now very small. So You may be attracted to slaughter this chicken for your guests, but you realize that most of what you are seeing were feathers and not meat. Am I right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. The thing about these proverbs is you are never wrong. That's why Eric asked you specifically. Tell us your interpretation. That is your interpretation. Now we've learned something that we ourselves probably hadn't thought of. Yes.
It's a good one.
It's a very good interpretation.
It's a very, very good one, Murara. Very, very good one. You've been a very busy man.
Yes.
On X, we see you standing on top of four-wheel drive vehicles.
Yes.
And speaking.
Yes.
As if you're the president.
Yes.
What's the latest place you visited?
Yesterday I was in Kisumu County, Kabondo Kanyagwal Ward.
Kabondo Kanyagwal?
Yes.
Watu wa Kabondo Kanyagwal wako salama?
Wako salama. Mimi nimewaletea salamu kutoka kwa watu wa Kisumu. Nataka sasa tuweke tena mpango. In another 1 month tutakuwa tumeweka ile Fisheries Institute ambayo tulipanga ya 2.5 billion pale Kabondo Kanyagwal.
Ulifika mpaka bahari? Ama ulikaribia tu?
I neared the lake.
Yes, because Kanyagwal is very near.
Yes. You know, 1 month is just next month, September. I'm just saying, just in case you know.
What took you there?
What took me there is I went to see a project that was launched by His Excellency the President. That project is called the Kabondo Kanyagwal Fisheries and Aquaculture Research Center. And it was supposed to be funded by the Exim Bank of Hungary to a tune of 2.5 billion. And I went to see whether the project is there. Since it was launched, I wanted to see whether there is some works that has begun, whether contractors are on site, and whether we have hope of having the Kabondo Kanyagwal Fisheries and Aquaculture Research Institute. Unfortunately, I found children playing and nothing but the plaque which the president used to launch the institute, which was looking like an abandoned grave.
So the plaque is there?
It's there.
Is there a fence?
No, there is no fence.
There's no fence?
There's no fence.
Is there any structure at all?
There is no structure at all.
I'm actually looking at the video, and so there are children playing what would be volleyball, whatever, in the field.
Yes.
It's actually an open field.
Yes.
And there's nothing else happening there. There's actually there was a plaque or something. There's a sign, but it's an open field, literally.
Yes.
So when was the president there?
The president was there on the 6th of October, 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what did he do on the day? He unveiled, he laid the foundation, so it's called groundbreaking. Was it groundbreaking? Was it launch? What was it?
The president on his X page, this is what he wrote. During, he posted pictures, then said, during the launch of the Kabondo Fisheries Aquaculture Service and Training Center of Excellence, a project that will produce over 10 million fingerlings annually.
Fingerling city.
Illicit. Samaki.
Fish seed.
Fish seed.
Okay. So this is one area that you went to yesterday.
Yes.
Where else have you been to?
Yesterday alone, I toured 3 counties. I was in Kisumu County. Before Kisumu County, I was in Nandi County. I went to see the Deputy County Commissioner's office, which was being built in Chesumei. Then before that, I was in Uasin Gishu County, next to the airport. I was looking at Cape Karen Water Treatment Project. Yes.
Ulipata nini huko? Tupeleke Cape Karen kwanza.
Wacha niwapeleke Cape Karen. So Cape Karen was a project that was being funded by the Africa Development Bank, right? The value of the project for Cape Karen was 1.185 billion, but it was in US dollars. So I'm assuming that by now that value could be higher. So it was about 7 years ago. The purpose of this project was to provide up to 23 million liters per day of water into Eldoret. As you can see, Eldoret has been now upgraded into a city. But there is still a big problem of water, especially in areas of Langas, Racecourse Ward, Pioneer Estate, Kapsoya, where we have water rationing because the water that is coming in from the Kapsoya water project is not able to serve all the residents of Eldoret. So this project was conceptualized in 7 years ago. That's when the tender was awarded to a contractor called Mashiri. Now, I went there to see whether we have water flowing. And to my utter surprise, I found that there are some semblance of structures. There are some pipes on the ground, but the project has completely stalled. And to make what matters worse, this contractor has already been paid 767 million.
Okay, that was going to be my next question, in terms of whether we know actually that funds have been released to the contractor to be able to do certain things. And from what you're saying, money was released, 700 and what?
767 million.
767 million. So one would assume that with the 767 million, at the very least, there would be, something working, even if it was not onto completion.
Yes, out of 1.185 billion,
More
700
more than half.
is 70%.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
How do we know it has been paid?
You just read the Auditor General's report.
What does the Auditor General say about this particular project? Again, just for purposes of people who may have missed it. What project are we talking about?
We are talking about the Kipkaren water treatment piping project.
Okay.
Yeah, water treatment and piping projects.
When was it launched?
The launch date, I was unable to find it, but I found a site visit by the governor of Uasin Gishu, which dates back 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. Auditor General?
Yes. This project was being done by the Lake Basin, what we call Lake Victoria North Water Services, but it was taken up by the Rift Valley Water Services. So they are the ones implementing the project, but under Lake Victoria North. So the people are being audited is Lake Victoria North.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So according to the Auditor General's report for Lake Victoria North,
Yes.
767 million shillings has already been spent by government or handed over to the contractor.
It has already been paid to the contractor.
Okay.
Another interesting twist to that project is that contractor has already been fired.
By whom?
By the PS, the then PS for water. I think that was about a year ago. They fired this contractor for lateness to deliver the project.
Okay.
But the contractor has already been paid 767 million. So now we are in this situation where 7 years down the line, we don't have a project, we don't have a contractor, and we also don't have our money.
700 million. What does the Auditor General say? What are the questions that the Auditor General raises in the report? So they basically point out that this money has already been paid out towards the project.
Yes.
It has already been spent
Yes.
on the project.
Yes.
And when you go there's actually no treatment and piping project
There is nothing.
on the ground.
Well, as I told you earlier, there is a semblance of
There's some
structures.
structures.
There is some structures. But these structures cannot be said to constitute what we can call a water project that is functional or that is near functioning. Yes.
I know you'll get some of those details and even more because I'd like to get deeper into what you've been doing. But let's just take a step back now. Morara Kebaso, people start seeing you on X. People start sending you messages and telling you do this and the other. Even some of them even sending you money and support. Because the topic for today is the crowdfunding and the crowdsourcing of civic engagement. That's happening. When did you begin this? What you're doing now?
I started this about 2 months ago when we had the clamor by the Gen Z for change in our country. Before then, I was just a quiet business person going about my business. I ran a business called Morara Home Furniture, where I employ over 75 Kenyans. So I was quite busy with my own stuff. But when the higher calling came, that our country is in need of men of valor and integrity that shall assist in planting the seed of change and watering it in our country, I took it up. But you see, in this whole change movement, you do what you do best. If you're a musician, you sing songs of change. If you are a poet, you create poems. For me, I'm multi-talented, and since I'm a lawyer, I'm able to look keenly into documents and find the ghost that is missing. So I started by reading various audit reports, reading the debt reports from the Treasury, trying to find out how much Kenya has borrowed, for which project, what was it supposed to do. And yes, along the way, I found my purpose. My purpose was going to be civic education, because I realized that our clamor for change we were losing it because we didn't have everybody on board. There is 70% of the country that is politically illiterate. They basically don't have an idea of what is going on. And politicians have understood that, and they have understood that language, and now they go to those people and lie to them. This is time now that we need to reveal to those people and to educate them that this is what is happening, this is how our country is being governed, this is the constitution, this is what it says, this is what we can do about this. Yes.
Were you wearing counter suit before this?
I had just one counter suit which I had only worn for one day. In my whole life, I had only worn a counter suit for one day, and it was because it was a friend's wedding. And actually, I decided to wear that particular counter suit to this interview.
This is the one.
This is the one. Initially, this counter suit was actually long-sleeved. But when I realized that President Ruto's counter suits are short-sleeved, I cut it down. I didn't know that I can imitate him until I tried. Yeah. So when I tried, I realized, actually, I can actually speak like him. So why not use his tools against him? He has provided the ammunition. Yeah.
Okay. So you've gone through a number. I mean, if we can just go to, and of course, where you're putting a lot of this information out is on X. And I just want to go through some of the things that you've mentioned, because I mean, it's quite a lot. And unfortunately, it is quite damning. When we look at, for example, if I just go in order for some of the things that you have mentioned here, we've talked about this Kabonyo Fisheries and Aquaculture Project. We looked at that one. Then you go on to the Cape Karen water again that we've mentioned. Then you talk about a hotel where folks are watching you. You also then go on to Abagusi. This is the Metemba Merani Kegogi Nyaore Road, launched in 2016 by former President Uhuru Kenyatta, launched again when President Ruto came to Kisii. The leaders should stop playing with our minds, you say. The road was launched, but unfortunately, there's not much of a road there, right? You went on to talk about the Mago Mululu Road that passes outside the home of Musalia Mudavadi, which for all intents and purposes is not a road. No. You also you went on talking about the Malava Water Supply Project that was launched over the weekend, or maybe on Friday actually, but unfortunately, there's not much going on here either. So, I mean, it goes on and on and on. So many projects. And one wonders, how is it possible that there has been launches of so many projects, whether it is a stadium, which doesn't exist, whether it is an agriculture project, roads all over the place. Money has been spent, promises have been made, and nothing is happening. How is that possible that so many of them are halfway, or not even halfway, but money has been used? How?
As the registrar of broken promises, I would say that there is bad manners in governance in Kenya, where people promise things that they do not intend to deliver, and also where people lie to the electorate, and there is no consequence for lying to the electorate. I'm very disappointed with the lack of ethics and lack of integrity in our governance. I believe we should do something about it. We are still in a state of self-discovery in terms of what we should do about all this. But yes, as you've correctly pointed out, there are so many projects. I have over 120 projects that I need to go to. There is the stadium in Wote. There is the stadium in Isiolo.
Wote Stadium is complete.
Yeah?
Yeah, Eric has even seen it.
The reason I need to go to Water Stadium.
Eric even took pictures.
Yeah, I even need to go to the Nuno Modogashe Road. The Nuno Modogashe Road is in Garissa. This is a road where a contractor was paid more than 80 million shillings because his payment was late. That is interest. That's an interest for late payment. Tulikuchelewesha, shikai. Then the contractor was added 525 million that cannot be supported by documentation. It's not a variation of project. It's not an increase in the bill of quantities. It is just an increase of 525 million, period, nothing. No other words to explain it. It cannot be explained. I need to get there and understand 525 million. Ilikuwa ni ya kutoa. Unajua, there is a time you send somebody 1,000 bob na 30 bob ya kutoa. So maybe it was withdrawal of fees.
You also talk about the Ministry of Energy spending 1.4 million shillings on an interview to recruit a project accountant and still did not hire anyone or of the candidates.
Why are we even spending, why are we even spending 1.4 million on an interview? There are permanent employees in the ministry. There's a head of HR, there's a deputy. The people are supposed to interview are there. And the officers are
we
there.
We even have a public service.
The boardroom is there. The Public Service Commission is there. So what was the expenditure of 1.4 million for? I would assume probably they hired a hotel and conference facilities, and still they ended up not getting an accountant.
We can't do much. Can I just do one more? Because I know you want to go. This is very interesting as well. You've also gone to Mercy and Jerry Primary School, and you actually found a goalpost upon which 1 million shillings was spent.
Yeah, so that is the situation in our country.
And this was an interesting one because what prompted you to this was another post by other Kenyans who were actually auditing, looking at the budgets for Nakuru County. And there were these two ladies who, one was looking at the budget for Elbagon and the other one for was it Menengai West? And each of them just coming out to say, so this is what we see. And one says, actually, this school, according to the budget for Nakuru County government, the allocation for goalposts in this particular school, what's called
Masinjeri Primary School.
1 million bob.
Yes.
Goalposts.
Exactly, yeah. It's 2 wooden posts, actually.
And they write there.
Actually, I was very lucky when they posted that. I was around the area. I was in Nyandarua. I had gone to see a certain road in Nyandarua, which has been actually also launched twice. So that road begins from Captain, goes to Ndunyonjeru. It's part of Mau Mau Lot 4. So I'd gone to see that road, and the citizens there are really suffering. In fact, I interviewed some of them about that road. He has launched it twice. The same person, not different people. Yeah, the President, Dr. William Ruto, has launched the road twice.
Over what period of time?
Are there 2 different plaques?
Yeah, there are 2 different plaques for that road.
Same road.
For the same road.
Is it in phases? You know, maybe you can go and launch with one.
First 15 kilometers.
Yeah, and then you come and
No.
Inauguration 15 kilometers.
Yeah.
In both of those occasions, let me read for you the road so that you know it. It's called the Captain Demi Wanjohi Kwamatu Geta Kahuruko Ndunyunjeru access to Muiri Primary and Karima Girls Road. This, he's launching it now. This is the 6th of April 2023. That is last year. If you go backwards, you will find him again on the 26th of November 2018, launching a road called Captain Demi Wanjohi Kwamatu Geta Kahuruko Dunyunjeru Karima Girls Road.
You find, do you have photos?
Yes, I have a photo.
And these were posted on the William Ruto.
This is
page.
William Ruto's official X page.
Okay. And the second time you went, was it launching from a different place?
He's actually opening
now the first plug, I can't find it.
Here to Wote, you can launch the road from this side. Then you go and launch it from there.
Go to Wote and launch to Nairobi.
It's okay.
Yeah, when it's completing.
See, Nairobi Water, then Water to...
It's okay. So since you want to launch the road 2 times or 3 times, why not do it then? Because nothing has been done. It's okay. So you can launch it.
Are you saying not from Captain all the way to Ndonyonjero, there's been no tarmac?
There's no tarmac at all. In fact, it's one of the worst roads in Kenya. Out of the roads I've traveled to, that is the worst. That road is really bad.
What are the residents saying? Was the contractor on site at all?
The contractor was not on site.
Do you know who the contractor was?
No, I may have to find that information.
It's in one of those boards in your X. Actually, you read it there.
Lord.
Let's take a break. 25 minutes to 9. We are hosting Morara Kibaso. He's a civic educator. He's the one who's decided, all right, so one of the things that I'm going to do to contribute to civic awareness is just elevate the level of accountability. And accountability by checking on Vituko ground and coming back and seeing what do official documents and statements say. So he's here. He's not come on top of his knee. Send us a break note, ongelesha watu ya Spice FM.
Watu wa Spice, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Mimi sasa nataka niwaeleze na nataka mnisikize vizuri. Tulikuwa tumeweka mpango ya hii Spice FM 5 billion Kenya shillings. Lakini sasa nimepata contractor ni mkora. Sasa nitatoa huyo contractor, nitaleta contractor ingine. In another 1 month, hapa Spice FM kutakuwa na deni ya wafanyikazi wote bila interest, waweze kukopa ili waanzishe station yao ili waweze kujiendeleza.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
What? My head is